How to make running easy. Yeah, thought I'd add that or easier part in, because claiming to make running feel easy might be enough to make many of you switch off right now. So please hang with me, because today I'm going to run through some quick tips on how to make running feel easy. I love running, and I know that I can be guilty of just assuming that everyone else loves running too. But I do understand that sometimes running can just be a little bit too hard at times to enjoy, and that is what I want to help with today. There's some things that we can implement into your running that will hopefully up those enjoyment levels and decrease those effort levels. I mean, surely it's worth a try, right? A fairly obvious one to start with, but just slow it down. The amount of friends of mine that always tell me they find running hard and they struggle to enjoy it, and then we head out on a nice, easy, social run together and they run off ahead of me. Guys, it's okay to run slowly. In fact, the running world will not judge you if you run an easy run slowly. In fact, it's often a good sign of an experienced runner that runs their easy runs at an easy pace. Oh, and it's also okay to walk within an easy run. If the terrain makes it hard to keep the intensity low, perhaps you hit a steep incline, it's okay to walk up that to keep the intensity easy. In fact, you don't need a hill to be allowed to walk. If you are just starting out in running, you're trying to build your fitness up, then the run-walk or walk-run method is a really good approach. Essentially, you're breaking up the run with short walking periods. As you start to build your fitness and start to become better conditioned, you can start to reduce those walking sections and increase those running sections, therefore hopefully making running feel easy, and before you know it, you're knocking out 5, 10K fairly happily. If you are literally just starting out and trying to build your fitness up, then you may actually want to avoid hills altogether initially. Just focus on running on a smooth, flat terrain that you can gradually and confidently build that fitness up. And on the most part, that should be significantly easier. There is a slight caveat with that though, which I'll touch on later. Next up, doing anything when you're starving or on the other end of the spectrum, too full, always makes the task at hand that much harder. And running is no different. You want to make sure that you're well hydrated and well fueled for a run. That means sipping on a drink throughout the day rather than glugging a couple of litres right before a run. That never ends too well. And the same goes for food. You want to avoid having a really heavy or spicy, oily meal directly before a run. But if you do have a big meal before a run, you will probably want to allow a good 2 to 3 hours between that meal and the run, just to allow your body time to digest that. And then if you do find yourself leading into a run feeling slightly underfueled or hungry, low in energy, then 20 to 30 minutes before that run is a good time to have a light snack. Something like banana or a slice of toast, or failing that, something like an energy gel that you can take on directly before the run or during the run. Simple sugars that's going to be absorbed into your bloodstream nice and quickly and give you the energy you need for the run. Now, breathe. I know this sounds like an obvious one. If you didn't breathe, you pass out. But are you breathing efficiently? Yeah. I know it sounds mad, but quite often when people say that they're finding a sport hard or they're feeling breathless during a sport, it's not because they're not fit enough. Often, perhaps they are inhaling, holding onto that breath, and then making a big exhale, then taking another deep breath. Is this you? Have you ever given it any thought? Well, a good cue here, just to try and relax things, is actually to drop your arms down by your side whilst you're running. That should in turn help to relax your shoulders and all around your chest, and then focus on nice, steady rate breathing. Now, a little cue here is actually maybe just inhaling every third stride and then exhaling in between. And you may also want to play around with breathing in through your nose or in through your mouth. Personally though, I would suggest through your mouth. You can always get more air in through your mouth, and that's going to be the easiest option. New kit, or at least the right kit, can also make a significant difference. And I'm not suggesting you go out and buy yourself the latest carbon-plated running shoes, but getting some run-specific kit that's probably also more comfortable will make a massive difference. And generally speaking, when you're more comfortable, things start to feel that bit easier. Now on the running shoe front, you want to make sure that you've got the right shoes for you, and you might want to head into a running store for some help with this. So you want to make sure that they're cushioned adequately for you and they got the right support for your running style. You also want to make sure that you're not running in some worn out or dead shoes, because that will also make running feel harder, and also you'll be running the risk of injury with those. And then also with the running clothing, you're going to want to make sure that you've got some clothing that is wicking the sweat away from your skin. That way it's going to keep your body temperature at a nice stable temperature, which in turn will make things that bit more pleasant. Friends generally make life that bit easier, and it's the same for running. Find yourself a run buddy, a group or a club to run with, and you may find the same happens for running. Now, to be clear, it's not physically going to become easier, but mentally it may, and that is probably a bigger part of the battle. Before you know it, you've been chatting away, 5 or 10K will have flown by. But do be careful, make sure they are the same pace as you, otherwise you might start to find running becoming a little bit harder instead. And finally, if you know what you're doing, or at least have a rough plan, it will help with your progress in running and make things that bit more enjoyable. If you just head out and do the same run, the same route, the same intensity day in, day out, it will get boring and it will not feel any easier. Try and vary it, switch it up, change up the route, change up the distance, change up the terrain, maybe even change up the intensity. If you focus on 1 or 2 of those runs in a week being slightly harder, it will make those easier runs even easier. Trust me. Well, I hope with these tips you can start to enjoy running as much as me. Let me know in the comments section down below, have you got over that hurdle and started enjoying the running yet, or are you still struggling? Let us know in the comment section down below and we will try and help. If you enjoyed today's video, please do give it a thumbs up, give it a like. I'm gonna go and run. See ya!